All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I normally do not start a video on post market, but I for sure have to do it because BBAI, I believe, has finished dropping earnings. If not, is definitely doing it as I'm speaking right now. All right. It's funny because look, it was a really nice day until the last hour of the day, right? Like it just, and we can even go to the 15 minute. It all happened in the last 15 minutes. And look, you've heard me say it so many videos. I will literally ride a stock all the way up and then just sell at the end. It is a super common thing. Why? Because honestly, earnings are a scary thing to go into. And if you want to know the truth, I held some shares. I turned to my wife and I told her, you know what? We're either going to hit a 60 banger tomorrow or I'm going to lose 20% on these ones. And you know what? It's fun. I say it laughing. It's very much kind of possible, right? But like, that's at least how realistic I was going into holding some shares, right? And honestly, that hard sell off is beyond, just the very natural movements, in my opinion. You know why? Because just it's scary for anyone to hold into earnings, all right? Especially if you got a lot of money, you know what I mean? And like it's literally out of your control at this point. Like I like these because I like to pretend I have a lot more control, and in a lot of ways I kind of believe I do, right? But there's no control I have once the dude or the gal starts speaking and starts saying the numbers and the guidance and all that, right? So yeah. So again, I'm gonna actually talk about post market a good bit because look, though it's only a 2% loss that we see here, we've actually gone down 8%, right? Because we've eaten the whole six and also lost an extra 2.5, right? So like we are now actually in the minus 10% range, give or take, right? So just keep the whole visual together, not just that, right? So that said, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We do have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like, subscribe, share, comment. Hey, anything you can do really does help with the videos, but I swear, just being here and giving me your time is beyond appreciated, all right? So let's get into it. And look, what I'm not liking, and I actually want to see it before I make the comment, okay? So the day looked like it was a beautiful break of the 50 moving average volume green, right? And again, when I look at my candles, I only care about the regular hours, and like this is what I'm used to looking at and making my decisions on. This looks fantastic, right? It looked like we wanted to break out over all the moving averages. And again, that's kind of why I joked with my wife. Like we were, sorry to zoom, that was a weird zoom, but yeah, it was either gonna like fly up here and I was gonna make a little bit more than 50% on it, right? Or yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, we might come down. Hopefully, this is the lowest. Hopefully, 250 is the lowest, right? But shit, there's a real good chance that this thing comes down to 2, right? Like all we're gonna really be doing at this point, in my opinion, is playing the moving average game based on whatever is happening right here, right? Like I think tomorrow, like I said, it's dude, if 250 doesn't hold, it could be a quick drop down to 2. I will say that for sure. But I think tomorrow, that's a bad one. I think just based on what I'm kind of seeing so far, I don't know if we're gonna hold this, but I'm pretty confident we're gonna come here. I'm afraid, and again, I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at what the earnings are, what they look like, and I got shares, right? Like that's how little I give a shit about earnings, honestly. But if the mark, this is also a new company, right? So like maybe it's not. I'll be honest, I don't really know how long the history, how many years is this thing. Yeah, this shit's only been around for a couple of years, right? So I mean, there's only so much history that you got against it. I don't know how it's done on other earnings or not. Like generally I like to hold a stock that like does well on earnings. Honestly, I think the main reason I really did hold this is because of Palantir. I kind of assumed Palantir was going to do well. I thought maybe they'd be a little more forgiving here if it was bad. I think that was a little bit of my mindset. But yeah, I'm telling you, I was very much ready to like lose some hard money if this was like horrible numbers. And that's part of the game, right? I kept whatever I was willing to let go down, probably to 2. You know what I mean? If I'm going to say it on this video, I got to say it to myself, right? So just a little perspective on my side too. I swear I mess some shit up all the time. Yeah, for sure. So What like I said, there's not much more technical analysis I can give you guys here, okay? Because again, nothing makes these lines more irrelevant than earnings, good or bad, or like FDA government thumbs up, thumbs down, right? So I think tomorrow, again, the important numbers are going to be 250, $2, and then for real 314. Like, let's just not throw out the fact that, hey, maybe a couple people are scared right now, and then you know what, they're like, whatever. Like, if this thing cracks 314, this thing can, again, this is a sexy channel. This is the channel we're trying to play in. Nothing but red, 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 little bit of green, red, 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 hopefully get a big green, right? So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Is what it is. I'll be honest with you. Okay, SOUN. I will be real honest. I am not exactly sure when these. Ooh, excuse me, I got the hiccups. When these earnings are going to come out. Again, there's a lot of good stuff that I see here, but what I really am seeing is a moving average cluster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 5 colored lines, all really close and actually getting really, really tighter and tighter and closer. All right. The main stock I usually show is HUSA. All right, this thing can stay horizontal for a pretty long time. You can see it's months and months and months and months and months of horizontal. And look, you'll either violently come down, or you will either again tighten, violently go up, right? Like, that's essentially what the goal is if you're playing these. I personally don't like them. I would actually much rather wait to enter this at 208 or higher. Otherwise, I don't give a shit about any of the noise down here. You know what I mean? So I think Big Bear's earnings, I think there's going to be a decent amount of impact on it. Because again, look, I'm not here to pretend I know much about any of these companies, right? But I've kind of lumped the 4 into a weird little group of, Bullfrog, Guard Force Group 1, Sound Hound, Big Bear Group 2. Am I saying that that's the correct formation? I have no idea, right? That's just my opinion. And I'll probably move them around as I do. But I think, and again, I might be very much wrong, right? But I think in my head, SoundHound might have a little bit of earnings reactions to Big Bear. And maybe vice versa. Again, I don't know when the earnings on this one is, right? But yeah, just a little food for thought. But for me, again, there's actually not a lot of technicals I have here because I very much disregard this. And look, I see it. I know we're in the positive. I know both of them have the green line up, right? But we're in a moving average cluster, and I don't care what the stock is. I'll say it for that stock, this stock, or any other, right? So yeah, there's actually not too much I have on either one, so it's going to be a little quicker than I expected it to. But hey, I appreciate your time so much. Thank you.